This is my new mic. It's so teeny tiny.
I love it.
Cute.
Welcome to Hot Cup of Slop, episode 4.
So many big developments coming. There's a lot bubbling up under the hood.
What are you most excited about?
Darkness will no longer have me in its clutches. I'm excited to be able to go back outside.
I'm excited for the spring blooms. I like the flowers. The 2 weeks when the crabapple trees are in full bloom, they're so pretty.
What else is in the Slop ingredients?
What if we just meet up in New York?
I don't know. New York sounds like just annoying. Like Manhattan.
I've never been.
I have met like over 20 people from St. Louis in the past like 6 months, and they've all been really cool and chill. So maybe that's the new happening place. My boyfriend's good friend also goes there every year for Mardi Gras. I'm not sure why, but he does.
St. Louis has a Mardi Gras presence?
I guess they have a Mardi Gras something.
Okay.
Keep it on your radar, you guys.
My go-to Missouri city is Kansas City because it's closer to Iowa, I guess.
I forgot. Those are both in the same state, huh?
Everyone gets tricked by Kansas.
It's half in Kansas and half in Missouri.
Oh, I see.
Like I think the Chiefs stadium is in Missouri, but I'm not sure. I guess
I thought it was in St. Louis.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, you're right. You're so right. Yeah.
Rick says, I just felt like making up lies.
No, I legit thought, I knew they were from Missouri, but I forgot they had Kansas City in the name. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did not. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was disassociating.
I mean, we did the podcast last time.
And that's what I was doing. I'm not too sure what happened. I didn't even see a clip from the Usher performance. I've seen stills, I've seen pictures, and they looked kind of corny.
This year's performance was not as iconic as last year's, let's say. I think Rihanna served a lot more cinematography. Usher was mainly dance, and not even viral dance.
I distinctly remember seeing a picture of Usher and Alicia Keys dancing, and then there was something on the screen that says she's married or something. I was like, yeah, I mean, well, maybe not the best musical performance for the most watched Super Bowl in history, but that's okay. They can't all be winners.
I completely forgot that Usher existed.
Isn't one of his hit songs just called Yeah?
How does it go?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that's people were interviewing Nick Bosa, I think, and then they were like, what's your favorite song by Usher? Usher just goes, yeah. Nick Bosa, that silly lad.
Who is that?
He, I think, works for the 49ers. Is it the 49ers or the 69ers?
I think it's the 69ers.
They're in San Francisco, right? It's probably the 69ers then.
Yeah, the WeHo Stadium.
Yeah.
The Super Rush WeHo Stadium. That's where they play.
Nick Bosa talks as though he's had severe brain damage from playing football and that his brain cells are desperately scrambling to pick up memories of how to put sentence structure together.
Concussions are just a shortcut to they're a shortcut to what's it called? To enlightenment. When you have enough of them, you just become enlit.
Someone said after the 10th one, you're basically just done for at that point. But that's a lot. A lot.
Yeah, how do we even get 10 concussions? You can just get a lobotomy. Easier, less pain.
If you remove that frontal lobe, Nick Bosa, you'll be so much more comfortable. I'm telling you right now. You can get it done at Claire's.
Love Claire's.
Me too.
That's where I got all my lobotomies for my kids.
Oh my God. I love that.
Everyone talks shit about millennials, but none of us have named our kids Shrek yet.
Okay, but also just think about how many crazy ass names there are already in existence of older celebrities. January Jones. January's not a name, ho.
Yes, it is.
River Phoenix. What?
River Phoenix?
Yeah, he died in the 90s.
River's a name. You've met a Forrest.
Forrest. Yeah, I guess. Whatever. But
I went to school with a girl named LaDasha, but it was spelled LA-A.
LaDasha.
Yes.
Dash is not silent.
Dash, the mascot of the Iowa City Heartlanders, the hockey team. His name is Dash. Wonder if his signature is just
right.
The name Karen is going out of fashion.
I think I did see that from a post by someone who's as someone who's actually named Karen, I just have to like stick together in these trying times. But that made me think of something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and it's when someone gets a really viral hit video and then they just recreate that video every single day for months on end, but with like a different object, like a fill in the blank. But right now, the most iconic one is that lady who pretends to be a Karen, where she's like, I knew it. I knew it. These chips, I asked for them to be reheated 3 times, 3 separate times in the microwave. They're cold and they're stale. They've been sitting out all day. I don't like stale chips. These are going to be free, and you're going to bring me some new ones. That's basically like the gist of her like video every time. But it is like pretty entertaining. But sometimes it's just like pathetic when someone just recreates their same template. If it's like specific enough, it's hard to watch.
It gets old pretty quick.
Yeah, it's like seeing someone like riding a horse with 3 legs. Like, if you're a lame horse, you need to be shot.
You're a one-trick pony. Well, I find it sad. Like, not in a sad way, but like in a sad for you way. It's like the way when your dealer sells you crack for the first time and you become addicted. You find a formula that works and you can't let go. They're victims. They're victims of the likes epidemic.
There's one that was just like they would open up their laptop and like play a video in front of like a camera, and then they would just recite the words to the video alongside it, which is like can be funny, but once you have done like hundreds of videos doing it, it's not so funny.
The people who watch those religiously are the people who are discovering that creator, or the ones who want to like fuck the creator, like sexually.
I knew it.
Mm.
This video has been done before. This video has been done 3 times today. You need to go back there and remake one. Fresh.
I put them in the same field as the people who have had the same profile on their dating sites for 10 plus years.
Oh my God, Rick. I now understand this so fiercely when I like go home to like my like small town and like I see like all the people there and I'm like, no freaking way. It's been over a decade and you still have the same picture. That's criminal.
Whether it's a body pic or a face pic, like that's false advertising. When we were talking about the one trick ponies, have you seen this girl who she does like a 2007 through 2008 parody, and it's always like, oh, when you're in high school in 2007 and you're getting ready to go to the mall, and it's just like the makeup and the clothes and like the bad weave.
Yeah, that it's like redundant at a certain point because it's not like there's just certain cultural like key points that are like a universal experience, but there's not like thousands like of examples from 2007 2008, so you're just regurgitating the same old thing.
There's another guy who he's like a good looking guy, and all he does is holds his phone at a high angle at random scenarios, and it's just like quote, like some tweet. It's always relatable, but you know, like for middle-aged people.
Yeah.
And one time I saw a screenshot of his video on Facebook, and I was like, come on, I don't even know what he sounds like.
This is not the guy who like writes like words and like balloons, is it?
No, ugh, hate him too. But he started from Facebook or Reddit or something. I don't think I've ever seen him on video.
Cringe. Why is that like content for people? People can say whatever they want about like 2 guys with a podcast, but at least we're not doing that.
No one reports on Slop ever.
I did forget that there's a very iconic podcast called Sloppy Seconds.
I mean, we're a different type of slop. I think our slop is consumable, not sloppy.
Trashy entertainment. It's like The Soup in some ways.
Exactly. It's the slop, you know? It's a lot more metaphorical. It's transcendental. Because
Yeah.
you could have slop in prison, or you can have slop at 10-course gourmet restaurant.
Exactly.
Slop is for everybody. You could be an animal and eat slop. You can be a human and eat slop. You could be highly civilized alien and eat slop.
Exactly. Wait, okay. So I haven't asked this, but where are you?
I'm in my doomsday bunker.
I've gotten really into Star Trek recently.
I knew it. I knew it. That series has been watched 3 times.
That's the thing. I didn't know that like people loved it so much. Like Alex's roommates have watched it 3 times all the way through.
It's a binger. How many episodes are there? Like 800?
For Deep Space Nine, which is the one I'm watching, I'm not really interested in the other ones, but I'm really into Deep Space Nine. And there's like around 140 episodes. But
Wow.
one of the main characters is from Cedar Rapids.
Oh, that guy?
No, she's the most gorgeous one.
Oh
She's
shit.
like the leopard print, like on like the side of her like face, like going all the way down to her ankles. It's crazy.
She's from Cedar Rapids?
Yeah, and I love her so much. She's my favorite Star Trek character by a lot.
Oh my god. Are you coming to Trek Fest?
I should.
You should. I'll be there.
Does it really happen every year?
Yeah. Last Saturday of June.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to figure it out. Wait, now that we're on that, who's the headliner for Pride?
You have 3 guesses and I'll tell you.
Is it Kim Petras?
No, they are a drag race queen.
Is it Bianca Del Rio?
No, close though. Not too many seasons far from that. They didn't win.
They didn't win. Okay.
Yeah. And they were in our budget, but they are iconic and still active, I guess.
Were they on the same season as Frisbee?
No, I think they're from season 4.
Is it Monica Beverly Hills?
No, it's not. And that's all your guesses. It's Gia Gunn.
Well, really? That's so funny. I love it.
And a couple others, but she's the one that I remember.
She's within her budget. Oh my god. Love it, love it. Gorgeous.
Wait, is that a vape? I thought you quit vaping.
No, it's not a baby. It's my microphone.
Oh, duh.
I've been just too busy to vape with my basket weaving and like my boyfriend and my Star Trek.
How is the boyfriend?
Pretty good. We went to the Chinese Lunar New Year festival because it's the year of the dragon, and it was really cool. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people in like Chinatown Square. So it was just nuts. There were a lot of like couples like kind of arguing because I think like people like when they just become stuck in like a situation where there's a crowd, they just malfunction.
Like socially inept people?
Like they'll just like get frustrated and they're like, oh my god, like I can't even like move anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, just calm down, Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
What were you saying? What'd you ask?
Were there dragons?
There were. Oh yes, the dragons were there, and they had choreography, of course. The first one that came out was like chasing this like golden like ball that was like spinning around, and it had like gold tassels on it. It was so gorgeous. He was like chasing it, and like the people would like move him up and down or like side to side. I don't know how it works, but I was like, wow, they must have mastered this choreography like beforehand or something. But then I was like kind of thinking like, oh, maybe they just like follow whatever the person in front of them did. There was like a second delay for like if I moved it to the left, then like the person behind me would like wait 2 seconds and like move theirs to the left. They're just like constantly like moving around and wiggling. So like that was cool. But it was also like hundreds of people, so I couldn't really see that well. I take like a good video.
It reminds me of the time that I was in a human centipede.
Yeah, that was crazy.
When you were talking dragons, I was thinking of the ones that jump on like the platforms, you know, the 2-person dragons. Or are they dogs?
That's a horse.
Is there a horse year? I think there is, right?
Yeah, there is a horse year. But what's yours? You're the monkey, right?
I'm the monkey.
My boyfriend is the monkey too. Isn't that
What? What are you?
I think I'm the pig.
Whoa.
I can't remember.
Or the rat?
Yeah. You know, in Chinatown, there's those like pillars of like the 12 zodiac, and it like gives you a little brief description. It said like people who are the rat have a great personal charm. And I guess like, oh, maybe I am the rat.
I can see that. You do have the personal charm of a rat.
I do. People want to come see my hole from miles and miles away.
How's the rat hole?
I'm pretty sure it's covered up.
Aw, they
I
should
think
have
the
gifted that to you.
I know. I think the person that lives there got like sick of people coming around.
When I lived in Chinatown, there was one time that there was the Chicago Marathon going on, and I was on the south side of Cermak, and the marathon was going through, and I needed to get to the train because I had to go to work, and they wouldn't let me go through because the street was closed because there were people running a marathon. So I called into work.
What are you supposed to do? Like when we were all exiting the train, there was like hundreds of people, and obviously people don't walk fast, and they certainly don't go downstairs fast. So it took us like 5 minutes to like even like get off the landing. But I was like just wondering, I was like, what if someone is just like, what the hell is happening? Why are all these people here? I'm trying to get to like, I need to clock in at Starbucks. Like, what's happening?
Several times there were tons of baseball fans on the train on my way to or from work. They were either coming from the Sox stadium or going to or coming from the Cubs Stadium, and I want to watch the Elizabeth Holmes web series.
Wait, what?
You
That
know, the what's it called? The founder? No, that's the McDonald's one. The creator, the CEO. It's something like that. Amanda Seyfried plays her.
wait, really?
Yeah, it's on HBO.
When did this come out?
Like last year, because she just went to jail.
The Theranos thing was like over 4 years ago.
It just concluded the trial or whatever, and now I know she's in jail now because I saw a picture of her in her orange suit. But the web series just came out like last year.
Okay, I watched the documentary series and it's always so fucking funny. They're like, this doesn't work. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, there's nothing in this machine. It's literally just like a metal box.
And
It's
she's
just
like,
like
trust the process.
put it in there and then like the results will just be negative. It's so good. It's so freaking funny.
I mean, A for effort. Like maybe someday that technology will work.
Well, that's what I was like. It really made me put into perspective the idea of you can have an idea, but if you don't know how to create that object through engineering, you don't have the idea.
I think she had a lack of knowledge of like biology or that type of engineering because there's just no technology to get blood work done from a drop. And people told her that. Like the people who knew were like, this ain't gonna work. And she was like, no, there's a way. She had the willpower and she had the vision and she had that tech bro mentality where coding is gonna solve everything right now. You know, coding is gonna like override the laws of physics because of course it will.
It's just so funny because I was working in a pathology lab while that was happening. So I was spinning samples and I was just like, she really thinks it's just like a click of a button, huh? It's like funny that so many people were like, that's not possible. This is stupid, in fact. But all of her investors are like, I think I just hit the jackpot. They didn't think to like do any research before just handing over millions of dollars. If you can do that, like, why don't you just like give millions of dollars to end world hunger or homelessness?
That's no fun. There's no return in that.
There's lots of clout.
I can just buy Google ads.
I can just buy stock in Theranos and it'll be fine.
Although I can see it in the future. You can be like a billionaire or like own a company and be like, send people a care package, like a bag with some rations, you know, leave a 5-star review and the bag will unlock and now you have food for the day. And then they get their Google rankings up.
What?
That's where we could go.
That's genius, Rick.
I know, invest in me.
That just made me think of like a movie where like people are exposing why there's so many fake reviews on Amazon and eBay, and it's just people like sending out like a care package and it's like leave a review here, but it has to be 5 stars or else your meal bucket doesn't open. I particularly love how long-winded of a planet is, but they're sending money. It's like food overseas, and then just be like, leave a review and you get this meal or else. Instead of just like paying like a bot to like generate thousands of reviews.
If we learned anything from the AI era, is that the human touch is human, and you need fingers touching those phones so that if the government accuses your reviews of being fake, you can say, no, here's the data.
Well, that's the other thing. I think people are so like convinced that AI is going to take over the world, and I'm like, it probably won't. But I mean, okay. I don't know. I am chronically online. So I think I'm just much more equipped to distinguish between fraudulent versus like normal, particularly when it comes to like images. I'm like, that's very obviously an AI generated like deep fake. Like they're
Well, everyone's freaking out over the new AI video generator.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so there's this new, I don't know if it's OpenAI or this other. It's like you type a prompt and it'll generate the video. So you can say whatever, like the floof and the fluff doing the thing, and then it'll video it. And there's been like commercials or just samples. They released something, and all the TikTok like tech gurus are like, we're doomed. This is the new thing, and like, look at it. It's crazy how great it is. And half the internet's freaking out. They're like, oh, the government's gonna come get us with this. And the other half are like, oh no, artists are gonna not have jobs. And I'm like, this is a commercial. Like, I can't get AI to give me one thing right. Like, I don't trust the video thing yet.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like AI is still not that good at like creating human hands. It's not like a be all end all by any means.
Yeah, it can't even write slop.
Right. It cannot generate sloppy podcasts the way we do. It's just
Yeah.
ill-equipped.
I think I tried like 5 times to get the mug right, and it never did.
AI does not have the pizzazz, nor does it have the salaciousness it takes to create a hot cup of slop.
But if it did, that meant that it watched our episodes, and thank you so much for watching. Well, that's the thing about AI. It just knows what exists. I don't think, or maybe, I don't know, does it refer to itself?
I don't know. I think so. From what I remember, it doesn't consider itself like a singularity. Doesn't it say like you can't do that like in order to use this service or blah 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 blah?
No, I don't mean like that. I mean like the learning models or whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about, by the way. But like, I understand that AI knows what it's read before, and that's how it like compiles answers to prompts. It just refers to a database that it has learned. So I wonder if it adds everything that it spits out to its own reference framework, or if it only refers to or gathers data from what it is fed specifically.
That's the thing. People are also just like, well, you guys, the more you use it, the smarter it becomes. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true because a lot of you are pretty stupid. So making it dumber. An AI on Twitter, and like she was supposed to be like an 18-year-old girl, but she immediately became anti-Semitic and like would like tried like inciting another Holocaust.
Wait, that was the prompt or that was the person using it?
That was the AI. Like they were soft like launching like a decade ago. Some of the shit she was saying, it was quite sloppy.
AI is sloppy.
It is.
It can't do text, can't do hands. I don't know if I just don't give it the right prompts or whatever. I've been trying to get a specific image, an image of a spider with heels on all its legs shopping at Target. It will not give it to me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm like, she's clearly not as smart as everyone is saying she is. I've not done like an AI photo generator though.
Oh, you want to try it?
No.
Okay.
But I guess I have, but it was one of those like cheap ones where it's like, here's 9 images, but they look like shit.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like every time I use it, it's bad examples. It's not right. So everyone's freaking out over these new like releases for the video one, and I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it because it's not gonna happen. Not for a while.
Like it was like so gruesomely like butchered, it looked apocalyptic. I was like, oh god. But evidently Nicki Minaj used AI to create her like single cover for Hiss.
Whenever people say that Nicki used AI, I picture Nicki at the computer just like, haha, I'm designing my album cover. I wonder if that was like some kid somewhere in like a third world country who swindled their marketing team, and they were like, oh yeah, we got a team of thousands of artists, like wink wink AI, and we'll do the cover, and just nobody checked. Because they paid someone hundreds of thousands of dollars for that image, even if it was just, click generated, unless Nikki herself truly went on AI and fucked around for a while and was like, here's my cover.
Wouldn't it be funny if like AI has just been a complete scam and it's literally just like a chat service, like someone is like a real person is replying to every single message.
A real artist is out there airbrushing every request. It's like
Real,
some Indian call center, and they're just typing.
yeah, they're just typing away.
What was, I don't know, you might be too young to remember this, but what was it called? Cha-cha? Or there was a thing where you texted a question and then someone would Google the answer on the other end and then text you back the answer.
Yes, I think it was Cha-Cha.
When that came out, I was like, oh my God, a game changer. And that was great. That was like a novel idea. And then everyone got internet on their phones.
But it was so fun for like a good couple of years, but it was pretty inaccurate information. If the person didn't really know like anything about the subject, they would like copy the first line that they found on Google and like send it back to you.
That's kind of what ChatGPT does.
That's true. She'd be making it up as she goes.
AI is weird. AI will be editing the podcast soon, though.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun, actually. I have used AI, though. I'm with Nikki.
You do like AI?
Yeah, it's chill. I think it's cool.
I was quite confused as to what those pictures of the cup were supposed to be. I was like, what is this?
The prompt was a cup or a mug that says "I heart slop."
I feel like if we got like an artist and like paid them like $50, they could come up with like a much cuter idea.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just trying to see what AI thought of our podcast. But we can hire an artist. We do need the merch. We need our sloppy merch.
Oh, true. I think it would like be really cool if it was like a little mug and then it had like green liquid in it that's like bubbling and it has like a skull in it and like maybe like a rat tail or something coming out of it.
Are you the rat?
Oh, I guess I am with my great personal charm.
The handle can be a rat tail.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Setting up your own e-commerce business is the new like selling Mary Kay or Tupperware. It's people trying to sell you courses on how to do it. Because making a living off of like getting people to click your links is difficult. Unless you have a big marketing budget and a good product, of course. But if you're quitting your job to do this, you don't have that budget.
Right. Well, that's why basket weaving is so fun because like I don't have to do it that day if I don't want to. Maybe I'll sell them eventually, but right now I'm just like having fun in my little fishbowl of watching like Star Trek and America's Next Top Model and like weaving.
And see, more people need to weave baskets or anything without feeling like they need to think about selling it. That's the life.
You don't need electronics. You don't need fun to have alcohol. You don't need electricity. Wait, no, you do.
Well, the electricity can stay.
Well,
Although
yeah.
soon our TVs will be AI powered, so they won't need anything.
Solar powered TVs, that would slap.
Oh, Lord said yes. My royalties.
I know, right? I love her.
I saw a thing, maybe you sent it to me. It was a review of the albums, and someone was like, biggest like flop going from one to the other. And I thought, ooh, Dan will have opinions about this.
I know. Well, there's a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of melodrama truthers out there, and they're entitled to their wrong, uneducated opinions. And I can't help that I'm the one that decides what good taste is, but it's true, and that's it. All it is at the end of the day.
Thank you for carrying the taste burden for the entire world.
I mean, someone has to. Someone has to help and guide people. And I just know at like years down the road, people are going to herald it as like a masterpiece. And they're all going to come crawling back like birds on their bellies. And Lord will be gone. She'll be retired in New Zealand, vibing on the beach. So,
And then her streams are really gonna like kick off.
Very Kate Bush.
I was gonna say, just like Kate Bush.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this DJ on TikTok who is like, oh, well, which one sounds better? The new version, the version from like the 40s, or the version from like the 20s? And some of these songs that I thought were like new originals are just like remakes of the remake. Like music is so old. I was listening to the radio earlier, NPR or something. They were playing some like 200-year-old classical piece.
Isn't it weird that all those gay people created classical music? Technically, gay people created music.
What was the first instrument? The harp?
Mayonnaise.
The bro hookup.
I don't know what the first instrument was. That's a great question.
Oh, you know what? I bet you it was the drum.
I think it was the drum.
Anyway, what I was going to say is that the first instrument was openly gay.
Turkey sandwich. Oh, yeah. Like all those composers were gay. Even if they weren't out of the closet, they wrote about it in their diary.
Okay, sorry, I'm reading here. The Neanderthal flute is an item that was discovered in a cave, thought to be the oldest known instrument at 50,000 years old.
For a flute?
No, 50,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. They just be making flutes out of anything back then, huh?
Bone flutes.
You are what you eat. Oh, wait.
Okay.
People love dumb hashtags.
I love hashtags. Hashtag love them. Isn't it weird how Twitter kind of invented that or popularized it or whatever? Hashtags are only like 15 years old, the way they are used. Understanding that a hashtag is the link to the rest of that conversation. Twitter kind of started that.
Yeah, they really gave the hashtag its big break. A star was born. Yeah.
Pound died. Hash was birthed.
Friendship with Pound is dead. Now hashtag my best friend.
Hashtag Ozempic face.
Oh My God, Christina Aguilera at the Grammys is like skinny as a rail because she's on Ozempic, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, she looks so good." I'm like, "No, she doesn't, you guys. You should not reward this kind of behavior. It's very obvious that she's on Ozempic."
If Ozempic approached us and said, "Can we sponsor your next episode?" we would say no.
I mean, I would definitely take the ad and I would lie and say I'm taking Ozempic and I would take the money, but I wouldn't actually be doing the Ozempic. I would just be selling it to all the followers.
And overeating so that you gain weight for the bit.
Yeah. They did that on Always Sunny. Like one of the main characters will like randomly gain 50 pounds and like the actor will then like go out and like gain 50 pounds just by like drinking milkshakes.
Okay, that explains why his weight fluctuates.
Yeah, and then he went on steroids to like become like Bill. This character is gay, so it just kind of like check out. It makes sense.
He's not gay.
This character is, yeah.
In Always Sunny?
Yeah. Mac?
Max gay?
hmm
I thought he wasn't. I thought that was like a thing they did, but then the joke died.
It was a bit, but then it just became like real.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he like out though? Is he involved in the community, or was this like a thing that they're not playing into?
No, they've had bits about like, well, is Mac a bear? And they're like, well, what's a bear? And they're like, well, it's like a guy who's like a little chubbier but hairy. And he's like, no, I don't think so. Is he a twink? No. And like they're just like discussing like the terminology and la da 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 da.
You can tell when a gay character is written by a straight character, especially that one, because they're not on the apps, they're not cruising.
Well, that's like the whole thing, though. He's already a deplorable human being, and all of them are. So you don't want him to be like a good representation of like a normal gay person if he's like spouting out all this like crazy psychobabble racist nonsense.
See, he should be on Grinder if that's his character. He's made for it.
Okay, we might cut that part out. Okay.
Oh yeah, totally. We're not giving you free advertising.
True. No free clout.
No free clout. That's one of our values, one of our core values.
Oh, we have to think about like when we're gonna meet up and do like an episode in person.
I want to come over soon. I almost landed in Chicago on my way back.
Okay.
It's more expensive to fly into Chicago than to fly to Cedar Rapids. It's one of those like connection dilemmas. What's it called? Skip lagging. Do not skip lag. I heard that people who do that are now being put on no-fly lists.
What's skip lag?
It's when you book a flight to somewhere that has a connection where you're really wanting to go. So then you just get off there and you don't get on the next plane. Because sometimes it's cheaper than going to somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
I should just do that.
Well, do it at your own risk, because like this became a thing not that long ago because someone like talked about it. But now what I'm hearing is that people who do that are being put on the no-fly lists because the airlines don't want you doing that.
How come they can scam us, but we can't scam them?
I know, right?
Like, we're still paying for the ticket. Why do you care?
Well, it's because they could have sold it to someone else for more who was trying to go direct, I guess.
I thought they like sold more tickets than they had seats. They're such hypocrites.
Have you ever been asked to get off a flight because like they oversold it?
No, but I thought I was going to one time and I was so scared.
They give you money to get off the plane.
Like more than what your ticket was worth?
Oh yeah, a lot more.
Yeah, I would be like, how much? I like buy my seat off and buy my silence.
And obviously they'll like rebook you.
You're gonna reschedule me a new flight. That's gonna be free. This flight is gonna be free too. Whoever that person is. Even if I don't use it, I want you to pay for it. And I need meal vouchers that work.
Remember checks?
I have so many checks that I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? I have like 5 checkbooks. Back in Iowa, you had to pay rent with a check. You didn't have online access. And now I'm just like, what am I gonna do with all this?
You can just write yourself a check and then just make money appear. If you write yourself a check and it bounces, do they charge you a fee?
Yes. It's between $20 and $50.
What?
Could be up to 100 because writing a bad check is really bad.
They kick you while you're down?
They're assholes.
What if like some teenager stole my checkbook and that's how they do it?
I guess I don't know how it works necessarily.
I don't either.
I feel like a teenager can't like steal your checkbook and like write out like a check for $5,000. Someone would be like, that doesn't make any sense.
I've seen it happen.
Really?
Yeah. Bad kids who steal checkbooks and then they write checks and cash them.
Or like how much?
Oh, I don't know the details, but and I mean they get caught because like the account owner is like, I didn't write this check, or I got my checkbook stolen.
Memo says Jank Botica Heart RIP Jank Botica Heart DD. Do you have any closing remarks, Rick?
I saw a video earlier about how, if your kid is not like fully like functioning as an adult by 5, you're failing. And like all these other red flags, like if it's not writing books by the 6th grade, you're failing as a parent.
Right, yeah. I mean, as long as it can learn to read by 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Your baby needs to know the top prompts for GPT by the time they're born.
Period. I believe that too. Babies are getting smarter and AI is getting dumber as a result.
Congrats to everyone who conceived on Valentine's Day a week ago. Thank you for watching our Valentine's Day episode.
Congrats to everybody who consummated their marriage. Big ups.
Yes, and shout out to the people who broke up on Valentine's Day. That is a thing to celebrate as well.
That is always really exciting.
I think it's really cool to break up on that day.
I think so too. It's punk rock. It's badass.
Exactly.
Unless you're the person getting, then it's probably quite traumatic.
I mean, it is sad to someone. I'm sorry. Our hearts and our thoughts are with you, but it's just like you said, it's badass.
They'll get over it.
Yeah. Yeah, now you have a fun story to tell your dates from now on.
That would be a great opener to a Lifetime movie.
What?
Yeah, this guy's so reserved in his small town because his girlfriend of 8 years broke up with him on Valentine's Day. But now he meets a hot young single in his area. And he's nothing like Chica.
Oh my god. We need to make this movie with AI.
Yeah, I'll like get right on it. But until next week.
Yeah, what are your closing remarks?
I think my closing remarks are I don't have any. I think it's just AI. I think will get dumber. AI will meet her match.
On Match.com.
Maybe AI and Siri will fight to the death in like in cyberspace.
And the internet will crash and then start again, and it'll be gone, and life will be perfect.
Y2K happens in 2024.
Oh, wouldn't that be crazy?
That we serve.
See you at the next episode of Cup of Slop.
Goodbye, slops.